Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you guys had a good break. We are doing this online now, but like everything else we've been doing all semester, we're still using CPM. We're still using Desmos calculator. You guys are still submitting your work online, like we have done that before. And if you guys have been following along, then you know that this is just the same that we've done before. Some of you guys have taken pictures and uploaded your work, and some of you guys have just turned in the work that you guys either do on Desmos or another app, and I'm counting that as your work. There's also going to be an exit ticket that follows with every one of these problems that we're doing. So just make sure that you have questions, you answer them. I mean, that you ask them and message me. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. So right now, what I want you guys to do is, if you don't have your notebook, bring out your notebook. We're going to write this down again as we have before. This is our section we're going to look at. We're having a section. We're going to start 5.22. What is a logarithm? Now, I'm going to warn you, if you haven't been doing the work and you haven't been following, do not do this problem right now because you won't understand how to do it. You guys have to go back to the previous problem that I had done in CPM and look at the folders. They're listed in my Schoology class page, and do that one first before you guys work on this one. Okay, message me if you have any questions. And let's continue real quick. So the reason is that I'm saying you guys don't, you shouldn't do this problem is because you won't understand what we're doing. Okay, so let's take a look at this first problem. It's the question or the title is, what is a logarithm? Defining the inverse of an exponential function. And we've been talking about exponential functions because we've been talking about exponential growth and decay. Very important words that you guys probably have been hearing a lot in the TV or in the news. So take a look at what it says here. Is your teacher will put an X, Y table on the board overhead that the whole class will work together to complete. The table will be like the one below. See which values you can fill in. Now the question is, what are we talking about? What's this table about? Well, the reason that I told you guys have to do the previous problems is we're going to have to look back at the problems we had done before. So if I go back to section 221, we had started with this problem here. And we were looking at finding the inverse. And remember, the inverse is the backwards function, right? The backwards function of a given equation or given function. So what is the inverse of the exponential function? Now, we did this already. So I actually went over, and you guys want to go back and look at the videos, and you should look back at the videos. We had talked about this exponential function here, y equals 2 to the x power, right? So here's my exponential function, right? And I use Desmos to graph this, and here are my points, and then we created a table. Now, if I want to find the inverse, right? So the inverse is this graph right here, right? And to find the inverse, remember we have to go backwards. We have to switch this around. So look at what's happening here, right? And here you guys see that the points, you switch all the values, and now we have this other graph. Okay, so now this is the inverse function of this particular exponential function that we're talking about. Okay, so we're getting it from the points itself. Okay, now you guys have to go back and do that problem again if you guys want to review that. Okay, then the next problem I gave you guys was this one, the ancient puzzle, and I asked you guys, what is this? What is this puzzle? So this thing called log, it's related back to this original, these original functions, the exponential, and now it's inverse. And remember, the inverse is these points, these orange points, right? And they're related to this. Okay, those of you guys that did this already, you guys will remember that, for example, log base 2 8 equals 3. It's the inverse of an exponent, right? It's the inverse of an exponent. So another way of rewriting this, okay? Another way of rewriting this is this way. You're gonna your base is 2, right? Bring down the base, and then you switch the 2, okay? This value goes here, and this value goes here, okay? Now, this you need to go back and review, okay? Now, if you have not done this, you're going to have to go back and review this. And this is the key part that you guys need to remember, okay? You have to do this problem and you have to understand it, okay? Because if you do not, then you guys are not going to get the next part, which is going to be the actual problem we're going to work on, okay? All right, we'll talk more in the next problem.